Hi guys. Hi guys, Alena Shautsova here, immigration attorney from New York. Well, first of all, let me know if you can hear me because during our live last time we had problems. So please say hello in our chat and let me know if you can hear me. And if not, I will think how to correct it. Today we're going to be discussing, of course, if everything goes well and you will be able to hear me. Hi, Ali. Ali, hey, tell me, please, if you can hear me. We're going to be talking about elections. We're going to be talking about why people went to vote today in record numbers, what's happening, what different parties were using in terms of immigration, how they were using immigration for, to attract voters, basically, right? And I'm going to tell you, hi, Amar, thank you very much. So people report they can hear me. Thank you, Amar. And thank you, Baba. And we're going to, talk about this. You can ask and answer, share your thoughts, of course, about the situation. And I would like to speak to you about asylum cases. Why asylum, I think, is a hot topic. It's always has been a hot topic in the United States, but currently, especially now, it's important because, we are preparing. Things look the way that the other side may win the elections. And of course, it may affect the elections of 2024. And in general, it's going to affect us. We're going to talk about this, how and why I believe it's going to affect us if Republicans are going to win these elections. So I would like to speak about asylum. I would like to speak about the facts that more and more cases that were filed in 2016, 17 have been called for the interview and what you need to do now. 3 things that you need to do now if you are one of those persons who are waiting for the asylum interview for forever, right? So it's very, very important that you know about those things if your attorney discusses them with you. It's amazing. But guys, I've met a lot of clients, people who call me for the consultations, for second opinions, who tell me that the things that I share with them and the advice that I give them, their lawyers never bothered to do. And I do not know what the reason is, but that's the case. All right, guys, so I see good amount of people join us. Yes, thank you guys. Please like, share this video so more people will be able to, so more people will be able to join us, and let's start. I myself, today, as many US citizens, went to vote today. Today we were electing our local officials, we were electing judges, we were electing also our representatives to Congress. And of course, today was a very, very important day for the United States. People that I spoke with mostly just exchanged a couple of phrases during the voting process, shared with me that they were very unhappy with what was going on in the United States. I really didn't go into the details with them as to what was troubling them, but I've noticed that during these elections, and maybe it was just my personal observation, I have never seen a turnaround, so many people to show up during these elections, midterms, as ever. Okay, from the time I became a citizen in the United States and when I voted. So it seems that people do take it very seriously, and many issues that are raised in our society are important to the public, and people go voting in hopes that those issues will be fixed. And why it's important to us, people who are interested in immigration? Well, it's important to us because, guys, one of those issues is immigration. And here is something from NBC News. And this poll, basically, this research shows approximately why voters are interested in the elections, why they would go to vote. And if you look at this wheel, this donut, right, it shows that immigration concerns about 10% of voters. They go there, they take time during the day to vote because of immigration in 10% of cases. And it's a quite high amount of cases, or percentage, if you will, because if you look at other segments of this donut, you will see that the highest percentage would be inflation. Of course, everybody is worried about their pockets. Everybody is worried about what's going to happen with the economy. Then goes abortions, according to this chart at least. And then we have crime, gun policy, and we have immigration. So immigration is one of the most important issues in this country. And during the period when parties were advocating to vote for them, you can see that both parties were using immigration to attract voters. Republicans mainly used immigration more as a negative side. They were saying that, and I keep saying, and I'm sure they will be saying, that we have a problem with the open border, right? And for that reason, to fix this problem and to be tough on immigration, you should vote for us. And I'm afraid that many people did choose this side because of that. Democrats, of course, failed in immigration with regard to immigration policy. Why? Because we know that Biden administration ran with promises of delivering immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform, but that has not been done. So unfortunately, during these elections, I believe that Democrats looked very weak with regard to their immigration agenda. What they did succeed in, or what was in their favor, even though it was, of course, unintentional, it was abortion issue that was decided by the court, which many view more as on the Republican side. And that court, of course, rendered a decision that many Democrats are very upset about, and they do not hide it. And if you look at exit polls, news about the exit polls, many will report that Democrats voted for Democrats, or people voted for Democrats because they were upset about this issue. Nobody, I think, says that they voted for Democrats because they hoped, or people that, at least from the news that I've seen, that people voted for Democrats because they hope that Democrats are going to change something with regard to immigration. Because at this point, they had 2 years, right? And we don't see any significant changes. We see a lot of litigation. We see policies that were changed here and there. Of course, the most significant changes happened in immigration law, but not because of new policies or something new that was implemented. The changes happened because Trump's administration proposals were stopped and canceled and reversed. And it's very, very concerning, because if you recall, maybe you recall, during the Obama administration, President Obama made it happen, at least with regard to 2 very important policies. I-601A waiver, which is still being used by families who would like to stay united in the United States, and DACA. Those 2 big changes happened during the President Obama, but this was the last significant change in immigration law that happened ever since. Right during the Trump administration, of course, in terms of immigration, we only saw negative changes, stricter rules. Asylum seekers were almost treated as criminals. You all know about the children separation policy, so it was horrible. Of course, Biden did a lot in terms of cleaning this up and reversing those absolutely horrible policies. For example, child separation policy, which was, I believe, was one of the things that basically hurt Trump a lot, right? Many people saw it as pure evil, right? And for that reason, his administration took a big hit on that. So this is what we see right now, right? The country is very upset about what's going on. People are worried about the inflation, about many social issues, including immigration. But exit polls suggest that Republicans may win. And of course, I do not know if they will or not, because we only can rely on the numbers when they are finalized, right? But if they do, what it's going to mean is that we can expect any laws to be passed only if Republicans approve them. And if you look back for the past 2 years, there were not that many proposals that Republicans would approve, or the proposals that came, Democrats rejected, right? There was, if you remember, there was a proposal about the Dignity Act. Dignity Act would give some temporary residence first to people who didn't have status in the United States, and would create a very long path towards the green card and then citizenship, a very long path. Plus, I believe Dignity Act proposed extra tax on undocumented people, and there were some other provisions that, of course, I mean, they were rightfully rejected. They were too, I would say they were unacceptable, right? Unacceptable, because they would create a second class of people in the United States that would have a work permit and contribute to the system and would be taxed separately. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the proposal. However, there was one, in my view, not bad proposal by the Republicans, but it was, if I recall, in 2013 or so. That proposal involved DACA or Dreamers. DACA beneficiaries or dreamers. So I strongly believe that that group of immigrants may really have a chance, regardless as to who is going to be in Congress. And perhaps Republicans would not be a terrible choice here, because, as I said, they did author one proposal, excuse me, which was, I believe, was acceptable. At that time, it was rejected. In 2013 and 14, it was rejected by the Democrats because they stated basically that it was not enough, that passing one law just for DACA beneficiaries would not resolve comprehensive immigration issue in the United States. But guess what? Almost 10 years later, we're still in the same boat, and nothing has been done. So we're going to see, of course, who's going to win. I do not know what and who you would be voting for, if you could, or maybe you did vote, and who you're hoping would win these elections. But we're going to see, and then we're going to, of course, see how immigration is going to be affected. As I said, I have my own predictions about that. Taking this into consideration, again, guys, anybody who thinks they qualify for prosecutorial discretion of any kind, for some discretionary benefits, do not wait. Just in case, do not wait, all right? Do not wait applying. Now, let's talk about asylum a little bit. Hi, something new, yes. See, something new, for example, is waiting for the asylum interview. So we're going to talk about asylum now, because I think it's one of the areas of law, guys, when administration changes, they all go after asylum seekers. Why? Maybe because asylum seekers is the main source of immigrants to the United States. The United States, unlike Canada, for example, does not have relatively easy immigration path towards people who work, who are employed, or entrepreneurs. So, of course, asylum seeking is one of the ways that people who don't have connections, like relatives or family members or employers who can sponsor them, this is one of the ways that people can come to the United States, or rather can receive status in the United States if they don't have any kind of sponsorship, if they qualify for asylum. But how to qualify for asylum changes from administration to administration. This is, of course, very sad. It shouldn't be this way, but this is the reality. A tiny change in the analysis of who qualifies to be a member of a particular social group will lead to disqualification just like we saw during the Trump administration, of thousands and tens of thousands of asylum seekers. So asylum is very important. If you have your interviews now, I think this is the time for you. Don't wait till 2024. Who knows what's going to happen? So knowing that cases from backlog now are being called. 2016, this is about the most popular year which stuck in backlog right now, is being called, at least in New York, for the interviews. What do you need to do? 3 things that you need to do not to miss this opportunity and to use it to maximize your chances of winning that asylum that you've been waiting for a long time. So number 1, guys, please have a copy of your file and review everything that you sent or was sent on your behalf to USCIS. Again, multiple times, people tell me they do not know what's in their file. Someone was helping them. Someone didn't give them the full copy. Maybe you moved and you lost some documents. Order your file online. If you are struggling with that, hire an attorney to help you. But you should be able to order your file from USCIS. It's called FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request. USCIS.gov website should be, it's relatively easy to use. It has some glitches, but it's relatively easy to use, and you should be able to order a copy of your file so you will know what is it that's in there for you. Number 2, think with your attorney what updated evidence you can present. Can you update your statement? Maybe something happened relevant to your claim from the time you last updated your documents. Most likely it was when you filed your claim until now, right? New threats, new developments, maybe, God forbid, your family member got hurt, somebody who was close to you got hurt, and in relation to your asylum claim. And you can present proof of that, right? Maybe you can present proof of your additional political activity, even if it happened in the United States. Maybe you can present proof that you're still a member of the religion of your choosing. That is the basis for your asylum claim. So absolutely, you have to update your evidence. And third, you must present updated country conditions research. Because if you don't do this, the government is going to do it for you. They will be doing it for you anyhow. But this is your opportunity to present newspaper articles, expert opinions, specifically relevant for your claim, for your case. Okay? So this is the most important 3 things you have to do now if you filed your case in 2016, 2017, because if you're called for the interview within the next 2, 3, 4 months, at least you will know that you are prepared. All right? So these are my tips to you. And now, guys, I will be answering your questions. So please type them up in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. Don't forget to like and share this show so other people will be able to join us. Hi, Ba. Hi, Mars. All right, something new. Let's start. I'm waiting for asylum interview, but recently I have received EAD. Is this going to speed my interview? Honestly, guys, receipt of the work permit has no correlation with the timing of your interview. You probably waited for your work permit for a long time. If it was a renewal of your work permit, if it was your first one, then you wouldn't be waiting for a long time, hopefully. But it by itself, it does not indicate that you're going to receive your interview soon. Of course, to receive your work permit, initial asylum work permit, you would have to wait for at least 180 days after you filed your asylum claim. So it means that your application has been pending for a while. And if it has been filed recently, it looks like it got dropped into backlog. Why? Because otherwise you would have been called for the interview within 60 days after you filed your asylum claim. Very, very fast. Recent applications are being called. Hi, Lijo. I'm good. Thank you. Hi, Baba. Hi, David. Let's see. Is there any sort of an update regarding CO8 cases filed in 2015-16 and still not being called for the interview? Yes, I've been just talking about that. How lucky are you? I've just been talking that my office and other lawyers' offices started receiving more and more notices for the interview for people who filed their cases in 2016. Okay, so I believe you have to start seriously getting prepared. Hey, David. Hi, Liv. Thank you very much, Liv. Hi, David. And if there is any update about the MAVNI program, honestly, I have not heard anything about this program. It's funny that you asked because just today I was thinking about posting something about this program, but then I decided not to because just for that reason that I have not heard any recent updates. I do not know if it's still being actively administrated because if you recall, again, I believe during the Trump administration, it was frozen, right? They froze it. And I never heard that they restarted it, at least officially. Hi, DTPK. How long will it take to receive a work permit with asylum? Well, if it's your initial work permit and you're asking it because your asylum is pending, it should not take long. I would say maybe 45 days. Usually it's going to be issued to you very fast. But if it's not your initial work permit and it is a renewal, you may wait for 7-8 months. Okay, 7-8 months. But if you are already asylee, right? If they already gave you the status, you don't need a work permit. Don't waste your time. You don't need it. A person who has asylum in the United States granted can work automatically without the work permit. And all you need to do is to update your social security card that is going to indicate that you don't need special authorization. It's just going to be like a regular card without any extra words on it. Hi, Lal. Hi, Anjum. Hi, Selena. Hi, I have a question about F4 category case, which is sibling case. I applied 3 in 2013, 1 in last year. In any way, I can expedite any of those cases. What the requirements would be. You know, Selena, I wish I could tell you that you could expedite, but unfortunately you cannot. Why? Because your cases are stuck, not because of the processing times. If someone is filing for an immigration benefit and it just takes a long time to process the application, then of course you can ask the government to expedite your case. But when, as in here, the delay is due to preference categories and visa bulletin wait times, you cannot expedite such a case. Okay? All you can do is to ensure you answer government's mail promptly. It's very important. And if you move, you let them know that you changed your address. Extremely important, all right? Not to miss any deadlines, not to miss any notices from them. Hi, Iliad, добрый день. Iliad told me здравствуйте in Russian, very nice. Hi, Lalita. Hi. How long adjustment of status is taking at the moment? Adjustment of status based on marriage, perhaps, right? Marriage to a US citizen should take about a year. Actually, a lot of my cases took exactly a year. Hi, Dasawar. I'm here in the United States with B1. What's the best for me to get permanent stay here in the United States? That's a very good question, but unfortunately, I will not know the answer. because the answer depends on your particular circumstances. You can go to our website, shautsova.com, and see there is a special blog there that gives you ideas as to how a person may receive a green card in the United States. Okay, usually you would have to be sponsored by a company or by a family member, or maybe you qualify for an investor's visa. It can be non-immigrant or it can be an immigrant. It depends on your situation. Sometimes people would choose non-immigrant route because it's more flexible and it's exactly what they need. For example, E2 investment, but it's a non-immigrant status. However, it will allow you to stay and work in the United States, and your family members will be able to join you as well, your spouse and children under 21. So perhaps something like this will be the best for you, okay? Perhaps something like this. All right, let's see, we have more questions. Yes, guys, don't forget to share this stream so other people will be able to join us as well. Hi, Rajith. I was told by my attorneys that if I request PD, they're only dismissing the case and not doing administrative closure. Is it true? I don't want to disappoint you, but no, it's not true. I had cases where we requested administrative closure and everybody decided that it was the best route for the case. And some cases, yes, are being dismissed. What may be true is that the prosecutor who works on your particular case will not agree to the administrative closure and only dismissal. Okay, so that probably what happened. We're not going to think badly about your lawyer. Probably the lawyer told you the truth. And what happened is that the prosecutor does not want to agree to administrative closure. Why would they want to keep it on their calendar, Then they have to work on it later. All that administrative closure is doing. Some people believe that administrative closure is better for them, and rightfully so in some situations, because they will be able to keep their employment authorization. Then, of course, it may be good for them. All right. Last questions I'm going to take for today. Hi, Zahid. I have an adjustment of status case through my U.S. citizen spouse. The waiting time keep going high to 48 months. Anything to expedite? Yes, Zahid, that's a little bit long, okay? Something happened in your case. Tell me what happened. Did you have an interview? It didn't go well? Did the government ask you to do something, like to produce a waiver or to withdraw some other application that was filed for you or by you? Something is going on. I would say that marriage case should not be ordinary, taking more than 12 months. In every case that it is more, it means something else is going on. Perhaps you should speak with your attorney what you can do. A good way to move the case would be to ask your congressman, those people that we're electing now, your congressman, and of course you cannot elect, never vote, guys, before you become a US citizen, but your spouse can and should. Your spouse can request assistance from the congressman. But you know what? An interesting thing in the United States, even if you're not a US citizen, you can still request help from the US congressman when it comes to any federal agency. And USCIS is a federal agency, and that's why all immigrants have a right to request that assistance. I find it the most effective. Okay, instead of filing lawsuits, some lawyers constantly recommend to file this lawsuit, mandamus, whatever. Why? So you would spend tons of money with the same result. Of course, in some situations, a lawsuit is the only thing that's left for you to do. In some situations. But in most situations, when you are waiting for the decision, after adjustment of status interview. Or maybe you never had the interview. Maybe something happened of this sort that you requested to postpone the interview and then it never happened. So in those cases, congressman is the best route. Good luck to you, Zahid. I hope everything is going to work out. All right, David has one last question. Let me see. Thank you for your answer. You already mentioned to keep file updated, and one of the points are updated country conditions. Yes, conditions in Georgia are really changing. Oh, I know, Zahid. Yes, it's very hard to keep up with, right. Conditions in Georgia are really changing all the time. You're absolutely correct. And, this is one of the difficulties, I guess, if you will, of the asylum process, is that you have to stay on top of your country conditions. And your country conditions on the day of your interview may affect your case. And it's crazy. It's a lot of pressure. But perhaps what you can do if the country conditions are changing, you have to see how, despite the changing country conditions, you would still be targeted in your country. Sometimes, let's say, president changes, right? But people at power, like local administration, would be still the same, right? Still police, still the same police force, and so on and so forth. So pay attention to that, all right? Maybe this tip is going to be helpful for you. Okay, thank you very much. Again, if you like this live, like, share, thumbs up. Don't forget to sign up for my YouTube channel, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook. And we're going to see who's going to win these elections, right? Soon, I think we're going to find out. And then we're going to have another live to see what is it that we need to do to address it, how we can move forward if Republicans are going to win, what we're going to be doing, what we need to be prepared for. Is it going to be really scary or not so? And you're going to share your thoughts about this, please. Don't be shy. And I hope to see you soon.